Your car still drives, even when it's out of alignment. You're just fighting the steering wheel the whole time. And that is leadership without clear values. You're burning energy, but you're not moving with velocity. The wear and tear you're feeling, it isn't because of the hours or even the job. It's because you're out of alignment and you've lost sight, lost touch with why those hours really matter. And here's the stinger. Most leaders, they don't even know their true values. They know their targets. But when the market shifts or your boss is on your back or the numbers dip and things get tight, see, targets, they won't keep you steady. Values will. And that's where the power to execute really lies. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. 7 minutes of leadership fire built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, I want to take you back with me on a trip to Athens, Greece that I took last year, where I sat in Plato's Academy and listened to Dr. Robinson, one of the leading experts on Stoic philosophy. And let's see what that just might have to do with you selling more cars, parts, and service. So let's dive in. Standing on the grounds of Plato's Academy last fall, Dr. Robertson, who is the author of the amazing book, How to Think Like a Roman Emperor. And if you've never read that, that is probably one of the top 20 leadership books ever written, and I highly recommend it. But as we're standing on what I would consider to be hallowed ground, he reminded us of a truth that's as old as Socrates: know thyself. Socrates is known for asking questions, right? We even call it the Socratic method. But he didn't ask questions to show off or be smart or prove how intelligent he was. He asked questions to get people to really look and strip away all of the excess, all of the hubris, all of the pride, and get down to the core of what was really going on. And positive psychology has picked up on much of the work of him and all of the early Stoics. And what we found is values clarification is the foundation of all happiness and resilience. And if you sit down and you talk to any manager and said, hey, I need 2 things for my people. If you could give your people the ability to be happy in almost any circumstance and be resilient in the face of any obstacle, you would literally have an unstoppable team. And you'd have what I wrote in my book, Unstoppable Culture. So here's the question that you, me, everyone, we all need to ask. What is really important to me? And even more so, what kind of person do I want to become? The next thing Dr. Robinson did is he shared with us what he called the Eulogy Exercise. And it's simply taking a few minutes. Picture this. You've walked in to your own funeral, and there are your kids and your spouse and family standing up and talking about you. What do they say? Do they say, oh man, Chris was so awesome, did 300 units in Q4 last year? Or do they say, you know what? My dad led with integrity. The people he met were always better. He could just bring out the best in people. And the wake he left was courage and care. It was amazing. And here's the leadership mistake so many leaders make. They chase metrics without anchoring it to meaning. And as a result, when the pressure hits, they snap. Why? Because metrics shift. They always do, every month, 0 to 0. But meaning doesn't. Now, here's the bridge to dealership reality. When your value is consistency, you stop being the boss who's like the roller coaster boss that every day when people come in and say, hey, what do we got today? Good boss, bad boss, on his game, off his game. Consistency builds trust. Trust builds engagement, and engagement builds and drives sales. Can you see the line? Values, trust, performance, profit. Now, one of the real values of true principles is that they work all the time and they solve multiple problems at the same time. See, when you really get what I'm talking about, when you see this line that we're discussing and you can get consistency and you can get trust, now all of a sudden you become an incredible cross-generational leader. See, Gen Z people, they aren't going to respond to, we'll just work harder. What they respond to is authenticity. When you're clear on your values, you lead from a place that cuts through culture and age. It cuts through brand. It cuts through demographic. It cuts through everything because people can sense and feel that you're real, and they will run with you once they have that sense of certainty. So if you're drifting, if you're angry, if you're exhausted and short with your family, it's not stress. It's not the job. It's not the hours. It's misalignment because you're living outside of your values, not someone else's, yours, the ones that you know work. This is the canary in the coal mine. This is the warning bell that your nervous system, your unconscious is giving you to say, hey, this is not who you are. Come back. So now let's cross the insight to action bridge because you are elite operators and elite operators execute. We can't just say, that's right, that's a good idea. We need to apply it today to sell a car tomorrow. That's what everything we're trying to do here is. I'm going to invite you to write down 3 intrinsic values, not your sales goals, not your pay plan, and definitely not your boss's expectations. These are yours from your heart. Then test them tomorrow. Look back at your day and say, did my decisions, did they match those values or did they betray them? And there you will find insights of gold. So ask yourself, if I lost my job tomorrow, what things would still define me? And if your kids could only remember you for 3 things, what would you want those 3 things to be? And don't just think this in your head. Take a time, take pencil and paper, write this out and write this down. Because the answer to those questions, that's your core. That is what never breaks under pressure. This is part 1 of the Stoic Leaders Toolkit, where I took that amazing afternoon that I spent with Dr. Donald Robinson at Plato's Academy and tried to distill it into 5 tools that I could share with you to absolutely help you build your culture, your team, your life, and your profits in your dealership. And tomorrow gets even better. I'm going to share with you what I call the double standards test and really take a deep look at why sometimes we're way harder on ourselves than we are on our team. Until then, clarify your core, lead from your values, and go out and create some leadership fire. And I'll see you tomorrow in the dealership war room.